To the First Inning Podcast, and I'm with I'm with Roger, the big Yankee fan, and I am the BX Bomber. And what's up, Roger? What's going on?
Hey, things are going good. Always good to speak to you, BX Bomber, and everything is fun. And that was a great wild card game, and you've got quite a number of views on your blog.
Yeah, man, I reached over 2,000. I don't know. I haven't seen the count yet, but it was good. It had like 100 people.
And we put you on the television, and that Yankee Stadium sure was a mob scene, no doubt about that.
It was crazy, yeah, it was.
And that was great, and you got a few dislikes, but I guess when you're getting that many people, you might end up with a few dislikes. They could be Oakland A's fans or something like that.
Yeah, definitely Oakland A's fans.
But that Yankee Stadium sure was a mob scene, and we watched you as our pregame show. When the lineup started to be introduced, that's when we turned over to TBS. But I was with you, and thanks for going over to my tree. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, and that was a good vlog.
I had to bring out the ghost over there.
Yes, exactly. You did a good job, and boy, did Yankee Stadium look crazy.
Yeah.
I remember I went to Derek Jeter Day a few years ago, and that's how Derek Jeter Day was too, as well.
Really?
And that was something for sure. Yeah. But the Yankees had a great wild card game and won 7-2, and the A's tried opening with an opener pitcher. They opened with Trinan, and the Yankees got to him immediately when Aaron Judge hit a 2-run homer, and immediately the Yankees took a 2-0 lead. And many people felt that the A's were intimidated by Yankee Stadium and the atmosphere at Yankee Stadium. It was very
It was
powerful.
A complete zoo.
Yeah, and the Yankees took that immediate 2-0 lead, and then the A's came in with a pitcher named Trevino that did shut the Yankees down for several innings, but then they had that powerful 6th inning when they scored 4 runs, and there was no looking back from there as they took a 6-0 lead, and then.
But talk about the 6-0 lead in that inning. Tell me the ghost didn't come out with Aaron Judge in that double.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Well, I love it. I love seeing Fernando Rodney come into the game. You know, Fernando Rodney. The Yankees always hit Fernando Rodney.
Yeah.
Even when they wear his hat crooked. He's like 41 years old and has been around a long time, and he had a decent earned run average. But the Yankees always hit him and always have success off of Rodney. And I was happy to see Rodney come in. And that double by Aaron Judge, it started out foul.
On that slide in home plate as well.
Oh, yeah, I would say so. I would say Lou Gehrig and Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth all were doing their job there as the ghosts, basically. That was pretty good. And the ghost of Bill Rizzuto was saying, holy cow.
Oh, yeah, and especially Mel Allen. How about that?
Yeah, how about that? And then what happened was Zach Britton had a little bit of trouble, and he gave up that home run to Chris Davis. So the A's got those 2 runs with the home run from Chris Davis. But the Yankees had a very strong win, and it's great now. And we have an exciting Yankees-Red Sox game coming up in just about an hour now. And I have the starting lineups if you're interested.
Wait a minute. I want to talk about a big story that nobody's talking about right now, Roger. And it's a shame. And it's a shame. And I was ashamed of Yankee fans at this moment. But I'm trying to give you what am I missing? You got everything?
Yeah.
But listen. Okay. At the wild card game, I was on Twitter and I saw a video of a A's fan getting poured beer on.
Oh.
Yeah, and they were pouring beer on him, throwing at him and all that. And people were reposting this thing, and I saw this video. So what happened was I saw, and I also follow the Oakland A's as well. I try to follow all the American League teams. So I keep up on them, and some American League, some National League teams too. But the Oakland A's sent out a tweet saying, "Who is this guy? We want to know who he is so we can hook him up with some A's gear," because they felt bad that the Yankee fans did that to him.
Oh yeah, you told me that the other day too.
You know,
and I would say that's classless. It really is classless, and it really gives New York and Yankee fans a bad name. Is what it does. And all it takes is a couple of crummy jerks, to give everyone a bad name.
Yeah. So what happened was the A's finally reached out to him, and they're gonna hook him up with new gear. And they're gonna give him some tickets to a Yankee game next year. Okay.
Oh, okay. Out in Oakland.
Yeah, out in Oakland. And what also happened? Wow. And what also happened is that the guys who did that to him, they actually reached out to him as well. And what happened was they did a video, right? I wish you can see this video. And there's a Spanish guy interviewing him, right? And he said, "Man, what happened?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, I just wanted to see, a Yankees game, and they threw beer on me and all that." And so he's like, "So what? You want to get revenge on them?" He's like, "Yeah, I want to get revenge on them." So what happened was they got the two guys that did it, right? And for a joke and to make up, right, as a prank, they were in the bar. And they walk in together, and they like, "Oh, they're the two guys. Those are the Yankee fans." And they said, "We want to talk to you outside." And then when they get outside, the A's fan pours beer on them.
Oh,
you see?
Wow.
And he gets them, and he said, "Yeah, F that, whatever." And he pours beer on them, and he gets them, and they all fall to the floor and all that stuff. So I guess it went 360. It reversed itself. Everybody kind of made out on it, But that type of stuff is definitely refrained in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, people should be able to go to baseball games, enjoy the game, and not run the risk of being harassed. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
When someone is there, if they're from out of town or whatever, the Yankee fans cheer for the Yankees and all of that, but, be respectful to out-of-towners or people that root for other teams, because it shows class to be, polite, good sport person. When you act like a jerk and you yell profanities and you pour beer on people or do nasty things, it's just very classless, and you look like an ignorant moron, really.
Absolutely. I enjoy other team, fans from other teams at the game. They be rooting for their team, and then you root back, and you try to say, "Let's go Yankees," to outsound them, and stuff like that. But you know what? The Yankee security, man, was really rough at one point, man, because I remember I went to a game in 2014 with my dad, right? And me and my dad, we go to Baltimore games too. So we know that when they sing the national anthem, they go they say, "Oh," right? And they did that. And security wanted to throw them out. I felt like going over there and to like defend them at one point. Like I wanted to go over there and be like, "Nah, man, you can't throw them out, man. Like that's wrong, man. They only rooting for their own team." That's, But people's different and ballparks are different. But it's really cool that they do that. I don't see nothing wrong with it.
No. And they play "Thank God I'm a Country Boy" in the seventh inning. And the Yankees play that. What is that song? That Cowboy song that sounds really weird. I forget what it's called.
I forget.
They have the guy dancing around with the straw hat on.
Cotton Eye Joe?
Oh, Cotton Eye Joe. Yeah, Cotton Eye Joe. The Yankees play that.
Cotton Eye Joe's been fired from Yankee Stadium for like 2 seasons already. People forgot about that one, huh?
Okay, hey, I'm behind, and
I don't know what happened to Cotton Eye Joe, man. He was there, 2015, right, babe?
Yeah,
2015. And
2016 too.
It was 2016. It was the last year, right?
Yeah. And then 17, 18.
16, yeah, 2016. After the All-Star break, we come back. There's no more Cotton Eye Joe. What happened? So he's been gone ever since, man. That's sad to see.
I guess they retired him.
I don't know. Maybe he's Cotton Eye Joe and somewhere else. He took his show on the road, man.
Right. But also sometimes there's visiting fans that can be nasty too. You know, where they're looking for trouble. You know,
absolutely.
They go Yankee fans and get up and act like jerks themselves. You know?
Yeah, but those are the guys that live in New York and they just want to be, a-hole. You know what I mean? Yeah, and they just have the, like maybe like they bought the jersey or somebody gave it to them. So they're like, oh, I'll just wear it and be a retard at the game. You know what I mean? People do that and drink.
I know, just to get attention.
Yeah, and they with their friends, and they're the guy with the odd man out, and then, you know how it is. Boys being boys, what they talk about, whatever,
They have like 6 beers in them, that kind of stuff,
Forget about it, man. The wild card game was crazy, though. But what's up with this Boston game, man? How I want to know, Roger, how the hell are we going to stop Mookie Betts?
Well, he's going to have to be contained as best as possible. Mookie Betts batted .346 and hit over 30 home runs and was just possibly the MVP of the league. He's outstanding. The Yankees are just going to have to do the best they can to keep him off base because
they're going to have to pitch him inside and try to hit his hands.
It's very hard, very hard. And the Yankees lineup is going to be, the Yankees are going to have Andrew McCutchen leading off in left field. They're going to have Aaron Judge batting second in right field, Aaron Hicks batting third in center field, John Carlos Stanton at DH batting cleanup, Luke Voigt at first base batting fifth, batting sixth will be Didi Gregorius at shortstop. Batting seventh will be Miguel Andujar at third base. Batting eighth is Gary Sanchez at catcher. And batting ninth is Gleyber Torres at second base. And that is the Yankees' starting lineup.
That sounds like a hell of a team right there, man.
Yeah, that's a very deep lineup, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's a very deep lineup, and it's good that the Yankees are healthy now and very, very strong. And the Red Sox starting lineup is going to be that man, Mookie Betts, leading off in right field. Batting second is Andrew Benintendi, who's also a hell of a player in left field. Batting third will be Steve Pearce at first base. Batting cleanup is J.D. Martinez at DH, who had great numbers this year. Batting fifth is Vander Bogaerts at shortstop. Batting sixth is Eduardo Nunez at third base. Batting seventh is going to be Ian Kinsler at second base. He's an excellent second baseman. And batting eighth, they're using Sandy Leon at catcher. And batting ninth, they have Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field. And the starting pitching matchups is going to be Jay Happ starting for the Yankees, who is 17-6 this year, combined with the Blue Jays with a 3.65 earned run average. And they're going to have the Red Sox are going to have Chris Sale, who is 12-4 with the Boston Red Sox. So those are the pitching matchups.
Sale is nasty, man. He could fool you, man. He knows how to fool you, man. I mean, he knows how to throw. I mean, wow. He's a real pitcher. And the Yankees better not get fooled on swinging at balls,
Right. He seems to have been injured, or the Red Sox did not play him much in the second half. He only pitched a very small amount of the innings after the All-Star break. And people don't know if the Red Sox are playing possum with him, but his velocity has gone down, and he does not finish as strong as he starts. He's very tall and very thin, and he starts out very strong, but then his velocity goes down as the season progresses. So many feel that this first game has to be a must game for the Red Sox, because tomorrow the Red Sox are pitching David Price, and you know what kind of success the Yankees have off of David Price.
Absolutely.
So many feel that this first game has to be a must game for the Red Sox. And if the Yankees can get to Sale's velocity is down, and then they have Price. Wow, they can come back to New York with a 2-0 lead. So I feel cautiously optimistic about this series against the Red Sox.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When you read that lineup, I felt like I wish Bob Shepard could say that lineup, man. Wouldn't that be awesome to hear? Bob Shepard say that lineup, man. All those names. Andrew Benintendi.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man, he make it sound
Bob
like heaven.
Shepard, he was a classic. He was great. He started as the Yankees PA announcer in 1951, and then it was until about, I think, 2007, 2008, just before the new Yankee Stadium opened. He was 98 years old or 99 years old, and he was just too weak and frail at that point to continue on. And he lived to be almost 100 years old, so he had a great life, and a very good man, no doubt about it. The classic sound of Yankee Stadium was Bob Shepard's voice. Yeah,
man, that's the only guy I didn't get, man. I didn't get to meet or get his autograph or anything. Is Bob Shepard.
Right, he has a plaque in center. He has a plaque in Monument Park as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But then again, the Red Sox, they got a lot of hitting going on over there.
Yes, they do.
It's just that how we gonna? Well, for Game 4, they got CC Sabathia going to start that game. So,
right.
How are the Yankees gonna try to stop that hitting lineup, man? With Martinez, all these guys can hit.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Every single guy, even Nunez, Eduardo Nunez, he was a trash Yankee. We just threw him out, and then look, he became a great player.
Yes, he did. And that game will be back at Yankee Stadium, so the Yankees will have their 26th man there. The massive crowd and intimidation of Yankee Stadium during the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that should help CC Sabathia with his energy quite a bit, for that game. And Happ has been very good against the Red Sox this year. Happ is 8-4 with a 2.98 earned run average in 21 games, 20 starts in his career against Boston, including going 5-2 with a 3.27 earned run average in 10 games, 9 starts at Fenway. So he's had quite a bit of success pitching against the Red Sox. So that's why the Yankees wanted him to potentially go 2 games in this series.
So here's the question, right? Will Happ sustain the pressure on the mound at Fenway Park?
Well, he's been very good this year as well too. Happ has faced the Red Sox 4 times this season. He's gone 1-1 with a 1.99 earned run average, 5 earned runs and 17 hits in 22 2/3 innings, with 6 walks and 29 strikeouts. And he has been successful both at Fenway and at Yankee Stadium.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna come out with a lot of confidence. Just like we talked about in the last podcast, that we talked about how pitchers look mean and controlling and stuff like that. Well, Severino came out of the gate looking that way awesomely that day.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully, Happ, can show some control as well and just handle the game,
Yeah, Happ is not a big velocity guy like Severino. Happ throws hard enough. He pitches his fastball in the low 90s, 91, 92 miles per hour, but he locates it very well, and he has good breaking pitches and locates his pitches very well, and he's been very successful.
He's a ground ball pitcher, right? He's a ground ball pitcher, right?
Yes, he is.
And guess what? Chris Sale, he's a pop-up pitcher.
Right. Well, I'm hoping is Chris Sale's velocity has gone down a bit and that his stuff is not as strong, because he's tall and thin, and he starts out very powerful, but he wears down as the season goes along.
Exactly.
And they were checking his velocity in September, and it was really going down quite a bit. So we don't know if he's injured or if the Red Sox are just playing possum with him. But there's a possibility that we could be facing a Chris Sale that is not up to his full potential.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is regular Yankee pop-ups are home runs, you know? So if he's a pop-up pitcher, you know, and if Yankees could, and it's Fenway Park, so the wall is way closer, and you got that pesky pole there, you know, so even if they get to slap one to right field or even pop one up to left field, it's going to be home run galore tonight probably.
Yeah, possibly. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. I've seen the way the Yankees played at the end of the season, and they were very strong, and then they really intimidated and beat the Oakland A's. So I'm optimistic, actually, going into this. I feel they have a very strong possibility of eliminating Boston because they're playing very strong and they're healthy and their lineup is strong, and I feel they have a very good chance.
And you know what's awesome as well? That all the Yankees, they're wearing the Yogi shirts.
Oh, underneath their jerseys?
I was trying to hold that coughing. But yeah, they've been wearing practicing with Yogi shirts. YOGI. Yogi shirts.
Oh.
Yeah. It says Yogi.
Is that in honor of Yogi Berra?
I think it might be from the museum, but I don't know why. I don't know actually why they're wearing it, but I think that it should be from the museum.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he has a very, very lovely learning center and museum in Montclair on the campus of Montclair University. And it's nice if you ever get over to New Jersey. It's a really nice learning center and nice little museum that they have there.
That's actually on my bucket list.
Yeah, it's not far, you know. It's not too far. You could maybe ride your motorcycle over. I know it's expensive going.
Talk about that museum, right? I wonder if they ever, if the police ever got that memorabilia that was stolen out of the museum.
Oh, wow.
A few years ago. Yeah, like about, let's say maybe 3 years ago. Somebody robbed the museum, man, and stole his MVP plaque. And
that's terrible.
And a trophy, I think, and some else, and I think a jersey or something like that.
Oh boy, that's terrible. I'll look into that.
They broke into it. I never heard anything else about it. Or maybe they did catch him, but I never heard the report. You know, but yeah, man, the guys. Who the hell would do that? Because you can't sell it because it's a stolen property. You can't sell that unless it's even if you buy it on the black market. How are you gonna display it? Like, why would you buy it just to display it to who? Like to nobody? Like that's where it belongs, in the museum, so everybody could see it.
Exactly. Well, there's all kinds of crazy people. Who the heck knows what's going on in people's minds? You know?
I really don't know, man.
You know, it's really hard to say. But anyway, as far as the other series are concerned, right now the Milwaukee Brewers and Colorado Rockies are in the 7th inning of their second game, and the Brewers have a 1-0 lead over Colorado. And yesterday they went extra innings, and the Brewers beat the Rockies 3-2.
Yeah, and check it out. Right now, it's bottom of the 7th. It's no outs, and they got a man on first and second.
Yes, exactly. I have it on. And earlier today, Verlander started against Kluber, and the Houston Astros beat the Cleveland Indians 7-2 earlier today. And let's see, the other game was the Braves and the Dodgers, and the Dodgers really manhandled the Braves yesterday 6-0. And the Dodgers and Braves will be on later on this evening from out in California again.
And talk about the Dodgers, man. There's this guy on Twitter. He's his Twitter handle is Dodger Nation. I guess I don't know they're the real Dodgers or whatever, but I guess he's a fan. But he was the whole season. Oh man, we're gonna blow this game. We're gonna lose. We're gonna we ain't gonna make it, and this and that, and then they finally make it. So now I think it might be a Yankee Dodger World Series again.
Wow, it's possible. We'll have to see how it all goes. The Brewers have looked pretty tough. The Brewers won 3-2 yesterday, and they did a bullpen game, something like what the A's did, but they were more successful and beat the Rockies in extra innings. Today it's just 1-0.
Yeah, because the Dodgers is gonna. I mean, if the Dodgers win and the Rockies win, I think the Dodgers could beat the Rockies like hands down, like because the Dodgers is way better than the Rockies, you know, and they're gonna. Yeah, so it's gonna be Yankees and Dodgers, probably pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, they battled for the and then they had the playoffs, and that was something there. And something to take the Cubs out of it so early. The Cubs are out now, and the Oakland A's are out, and that was something that was a very good wild card game. I really enjoyed that.
You're starting to break up.
Oh wow! You know what that means? Have we even got a half hour?
We're at like 26 minutes in.
Wow. You know, next time I do it, I'm going to have to call from my cell phone outside because, you know, if it's breaking up, these phones, the batteries are pretty much very weak and very dead, so we'll have to call it short then.
Yeah, we could just finish it a little bit. But, it's going to be a great game, man. I got the Yankees coming, swinging out of the gates, first inning, man. I don't think Chris Sale... Yeah, I don't think Chris Sale is going to make it twice through the lineup.
Wow, that's very good. Good confidence to have. And I'll keep strong positive thoughts going as well. And I'll be checking that out. And I'm not watching with my sister tonight. My sister wasn't feeling too well today, so she'll be watching it at her apartment. And I'll be checking it out on the big screen down in the basement. And have John Sterling on MLB.TV for the radio broadcast, and just combine the two of them, and that'll be really fun. And check out the game tonight.
Yeah, man, that's how I'm gonna watch the game with Susan Wallman and John Sterling.
Yeah, they're my favorites. That's for sure. That's for sure. I really like them quite a bit. And John Sterling has been broadcasting Yankee games for 30 years now. And he has never missed a game in 30 years. You would think he would get sick once or something in 30 years, or have a prior engagement or something, but that is incredible.
Well, he probably gets sick, but it's in the time where, like, they're off. You know what I mean? Like, it happens at a good time for him, something like that. You know what I mean? Or he probably gets sick and just pushes through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, towards the end of the season, his voice was going a little bit. He was having a little bit of trouble with his voice, but he still didn't miss a game. But he was apologizing because his voice was weak. He was getting a little bit of laryngitis. He pushed through.
I noticed that.
Never missed the game.
Now that you mentioned that, I noticed that he wasn't speaking as much.
Right.
You know, he used to describe the game very well. You know, and he used to nonstop talk. You know. And at one point, he was like taking breaks.
Yeah. Towards the end, he had a little trouble with his voice. But John Sterling is in great shape. He is 80 years old, and you and I were at his birthday on July 4th, the Yankees against the Braves. And the Yankees won that game 6-2.
Wow, 80 years old, man. Block. That's crazy, man.
Oh, and I saw your final vlog of Yankee Stadium. I've made a comment already that I look forward to us having a good, long friendship. And you really make me special getting me involved with all of the baseball activities that you do. It really makes me feel special, and I really appreciate it.
That's really cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, too.
And I'm glad you went back to Monument Park, too, on the last game of the season after they didn't have batting practice. Yeah,
right. It was a perfect way to end it, I guess, right? It was perfect.
It was good. I'm glad that you did that. And so that was pretty good. And how's my reception now?
It's pretty good now, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess we can go for a few more minutes. I'm trying to figure out what else to say. I feel confident about the Yankees, and it's going to be looking strong. And I hope the Yankees have a good, strong win tonight. And the game will be coming on very shortly now.
Man, how about that catch by Hechavarria?
Oh, that was incredible. He jumped about 5 feet off the ground, basically.
I think that was some Kleboya ghostly appearance there for him.
Yeah, maybe, or Mick Mantle threw him up in the air or something like that.
I'm gonna tell you why. In the I believe it's 1956 World Series, Kleboya made a catch like that, but he dropped. But it was a ground ball, and he dove far, right to the foul line, to the third base foul line, and he threw the guy out from his knees.
Wow, yeah, Kleboya was known as being he and Brooks Robinson in the 60s were known as the great fielding third baseman. Brooks Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles. And then in the 70s, I was at the 1978 World Series with Victor, my stepfather, and we were on the third base side, and Ron Guidry was pitching against the Dodgers, and Guidry's stuff was not that strong, and a lot of hard shots were being hit down third base, and the Yankees had a third baseman at that time by the name of Graydon Nettles, and he made some amazing plays at third base, and I was at that game. It was a World Series game against the Dodgers in '78, and Nettles made amazing plays. You could look it up on your computer and see some of the highlights of those plays that he made against the Dodgers that time.
Oh, yeah, man, that's big. That was huge, man. Oh, you know what? What's your favorite Red Sox Yankees moment?
Oh, wow. There's been so many of them. I guess the most recent one would be the Aaron Boone home run.
Yeah? I actually bought a keychain of the John Sterling play-by-play of that.
Oh, yeah. I would say most recently, but the Red Sox and Yankees have had just such a long history. In 1949, they came down to the last couple games of the season, and the Yankees won the pennant on the last day of the season, and that started the run that the Yankees went on from 1949 to 1953 of winning 5 straight World Series, and that was the beginning of the Casey Stengel era in 1949. And the Yankees were criticized when they hired Casey Stengel as manager too. Many people thought of him as a clown and that kind of thing. He spoke like a double talk, basically. It was like a jargon that he would speak, and he sounded kind of incoherent on occasions, where he would do this double talk speak. And many people thought that he was clowning around, but he was actually a very smart baseball man. And he started a lot of the platooning and a lot of the bringing in the relief pitchers that have come into the game now. Yeah,
my favorite moment is Jeter flying into the stands.
Oh, yeah. It's just so hard to say. There's been so many of them.
That was a great game. And you know why I go back to that game as well? That's the most happiest I ever seen Alex Rodriguez play that game. He had so much emotion. Like, he was, like, happy and, like, and full of, like, life or something. I don't know, man. But
if I really take it back to when I was a teenager, when I was 14 years old, the Yankees in July were 14 and a half games behind the Red Sox. That was a Red Sox team that had Fred Lynn and Jim Rice and Carlton Fisk. And the Yankees fired Billy Martin in late July and hired Bob Lemon to be a calming influence. And Bob Lemon brought the Yankees back. And in the beginning of September, the Yankees played a 4-game series against the Boston Red Sox up in Boston, and they swept the Red Sox, and it was known as the Boston Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
They really beat them badly and tied the Red Sox for the division. and then took the lead. And then at the end of the season, they were tied at the end of the season. So also another one of my favorite moments could be the Bucky Dent game.
Oh, yeah, that was good too, man.
Got the Bucky Dent, the one-game playoff when there was no wild card in '78, and Bucky Dent hit the home run in the playoff game up at Boston. That's another great classic Yankee.
I've been to Fenway Park one time on a school trip, and it was like in the I think it was the 7th grade. Actually, no, it was the 6th grade. No, 7th grade. It was the 7th grade. We went to Boston on a school trip over there, and we got to go to Fenway Park. It was Boston versus Oakland A's, right? And in the game was Jose Canseco, right? And Mo Vaughn was on first base, and he hit a home run that day.
Wow!
So I got to see that.
Wow, that sounds like fun. My sister, who's a professional musician, went to the Boston Conservatory for a while up in Boston, and she was just her apartment was just a few blocks away from Fenway Park, and she said that they weren't very nice to Yankee fans. At one time, she was coming home from the store wearing her Yankee hat, and a couple drunks almost tried to accost her, but fortunately there were police around, subdued the situation. So she was never
right.
Oh, Luis T.
Wiener. He was like, yeah, that's a long time.
Right. What happened is he came to the Yankees, and then that was exactly the Hispanic accent. But anyway, I do have to watch this battery a little bit, so I think we've gone about 40 minutes now, so let's call it now,
cool,
and
man.
we'll do the next one right after they fly back to New York.
Absolutely. It's definitely been a great podcast, man. Hopefully, and the Yankees will win today, and that'll be all. Hopefully, people could share and subscribe and keep listening to us, and hopefully, we could go all the way to the World Series.
Yes, let's go Yankees.
That's it, man. So we'll catch everybody on the next one. So long, everybody.
Okay, take care.
Okay, perfect. Got it.
All right, excellent. So enjoy the game tonight, and I'll put this phone on charge, and maybe I'll give you a call a little bit later to Friday night so you could stay up, and I'll check in with you during the game.
Yeah, man. I'll be here, man. I'm going to be up, or I'm going to go 9 innings until I pass out.
Yes, it's a Friday night. That's right, Friday and Saturday, so that'll be good.
That's it.
So anyway, say goodnight to Giselle for me, and I'll talk to you later on tonight, okay?
Definitely will. Have a good one, man. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.